Good morning and welcome to Wake Up Call. I'm Keely McCormick.
And I'm Malik Jackson. We have a packed show for you today. We'll be talking about the shooting at the YouTube headquarters, also a trade war, Mueller making big steps in his investigation.
That's right, and a very important interview with someone from a coalition for the upcoming election here at KU.
Today's April 4th.
And Wake Up Call starts right now.
Welcome to Wake Up Call, and we're pleased that you could join us this morning.
Before we get started with the news, we wanted to take a moment to remember that today is the 50th anniversary of Martin Luther King Jr.'s death. A truly amazing man passed on this day, and a quote we wanted to remind you of that he said is, "I've decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear." So just a quote we want to promote here at Wake Up Call and make sure that you guys remember.
And he was truly an amazing man, eh?
A really great guy.
Really amazing man. And breaking news coming in this morning, China is firing back in the trade dispute with the United States, announcing plans for heavy new tariffs on dozens of U.S. goods, including aircraft and automobiles. This morning, the Chinese Minister of Commerce said it plans to impose on 25% tariff on $50 billion worth of U.S. exports. The affected products will also include soybeans and chemicals. This quick fire exchange of threats is causing fears of a full-blown trade war between the world's two largest economies.
And there was a shooting at the YouTube headquarters in San Bruno, California yesterday around 5 p.m. The city responded with massive police and fire responses. Ambulances transferred 4 wounded people to hospitals after the shooting, and the female shooter committed suicide. Her motive is still unknown, and as people left the scene at the headquarters, they were frisked one by one and patted down by officers. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives will help investigate the incident along with local authorities.
Alrighty, and last night the Washington Post released a report saying that Special Counsel Mueller is investigating the president, but does not consider him a criminal suspect at this point. Mueller wants to interview Trump and is accepting the Post. And according to the Post, is preparing a report just on the president himself. Sources say the White House advisors are worried that this could possibly lead to charges because in a lot of cases, that's what happens when you're a subject in a report.
And Alex van der Zwaan is the first person to be sentenced to jail time following charges levied by the Mueller probe. Zwaan, who is connected to Rick Gates and Paul Manafort, both of whom face charges by the special counsel. Zwaan was sentenced to 30 days for lying to the FBI and failing to turn over emails. Zwaan said in court, "What I did was wrong. I apologize to the court for my conduct. I apologize to my wife and family."
Donald Trump announced to reporters yesterday that he plans on placing military personnel along the U.S.-Mexico border until a wall is built. He finished up by saying he will be attending a meeting with Secretary Mattis in a little while. If Trump were to do it, it wouldn't be the first time. Back in 2006, President George W. Bush sent a total of 6,000 troops to the border to cover over the course of 2 years, calling it the Operation Jumpstart.
Teachers in Oklahoma are on strike as they demand more pay and more school funding. Yesterday, the governor signed a bill that gave teacher support staff such as teacher aides and janitors an $1,250 raise. Last week, the governor signed a $6,000 pay raise for teachers, but only added an additional $50 million for school funding. The teachers were demanding $200 million more for the school fund. The teachers are expected to strike again today using their sick days in order to protest.
All right, 18 attorney generals in 6 cities sued the Census Bureau and the Commerce Department yesterday after the Trump administration said they were adding a citizenship question. The position of the AGs in the cities is that the question would be unconstitutional. The question hasn't been asked since the 1950s. Many people are worried that if the question is answered truthfully, the information will be released to the government. Others say that because of the question, many will refuse to fill out the sheet at all, causing the 2020 census to be inaccurate.
And that's all the news we have for you today. Coming up after the break, I'll be back with an interview about the upcoming KU elections, so stay tuned. Welcome back. Now I'm here with Libby Stauffer, who's the communications director for Crimson and Blue. So welcome. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so I know your guys' mission statement is dedicated to improving the Jayhawk community through compassion, inclusivity, and empowerment. So what are some current issues that you think need to be changed here on KU's campus?
I think that our platforms really speak to kind of the issues that we're really passionate about. For example, some of my favorites have been the Women in STEM program. So I'm not a woman in STEM. I am a woman though. And a lot of my friends that are in STEM classes and STEM fields have talked about how hard it is to be one of the only women in their classes. And this program would just be a day-long program where we talk to high schools across Kansas, and we get women who are interested in these fields and alumni that are interested in these fields, and we show them the new buildings, and we kind of create this kind of time of empowerment for women to be able to explore the new facilities and kind of have this option so they can see other women going through these fields as well.
That's cool. So can you explain a little more about what STEM is?
So STEM is science, technology, engineering, I'm missing an E, and medicine. I can't remember this. Oh gosh, darn it.
That's okay.
But so it's those kind of fields where women are proportionately have a lower retention rate in these fields, and are known to switch out because they're kind of known as the only girl in some of these fields. So it's just important to kind of foster this feeling of inclusivity with gender and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. So I know another thing you guys were looking to implement on campus is renovations to the rec center. Can you tell me a little more about that?
Yeah, so our rec center is the smallest in the Big 12 schools, and we wanted to try to find ways to improve the maintenance and improve the facilities and expand it without increasing student fees. So part of this platform would be install a healthy snack bar inside of the rec center using an outside company. And so when we were researching this idea, we came across UT Austin, who has the same program, and they have a snack bar right outside the rec, and they generate to $3,000 to $5,000 of revenue each day.
Wow.
So the cool thing about this program is not only would it, provide a way for you to have actually healthy snacks after you work out, and so not exactly I think right now there's sun chips in the
vending
machines. So not only would it be healthy food, but it would also be a way to kind of give back and keep up the maintenance of the rec. So it would be a more long-term project that would help the Ambler Rec Center improve in general.
Oh wow, yeah, that's definitely something I would be interested in to see. So can you tell me a little more about Healthy Hawks?
So Healthy Hawks is their pop-up checkups. So a lot of the time students aren't aware of the services Watkins has or how to get there or anything like that. So this program would bring pop-up checkups to dorms and to Daisy Hill and Downs and things like that. And they would set up quick checkups, so students could come in, they could have a quick little checkup, they could learn more about Watkins. If the services they wanted weren't offered there, they'd be there. They could tell Watkins, people could tell them where they could get it, that kind of thing. So it not only just improve information between Watkins and the student body, but also would just kind of help overall health in general.
Yeah, that sounds like it'd be very beneficial.
Yeah.
So you're the communications director. Can you tell me a little more about your team? Who are the candidates? Who else do you guys have?
So our presidential candidate is Noah Reese, and I work with him now. I'm on Student Senate Exec now, so I have worked with him for a year, and not only that, he's one of my good friends. And I am just so excited that he's running. I think something that really sets him apart from everybody else is how empathetic he is and how much he really cares for other people. He's not a career politician. This is definitely not something he's wanting to do, and he's not a politician. He genuinely just wants to help people, and he wants to help KU. And I think that's something that kind of sets him apart. And our vice presidential candidate is also, I've known him for a while too, and I respect him so much. His name's Charles Jetty. He's also on Student Senate Exec. And he is just one of the hardest workers I know, extremely smart, and able to just he puts his mind to something and gets it done. So I really trust these two a lot, and that's why it was so easy for me to get on board with this team, just because I know them, I know what they're capable of, and they've got it together. I respect them so much.
Was there anything specific that made you want to be the communications director instead of something else or another way of helping out?
Well, I am a strategic communications major, so I like that kind of thing. I like running the Instagram,
Yeah.
making the graphics, doing that kind of thing, working with our graphic designer. But yeah, I think that, communication is such an important part of these elections to kind of like tell the student body what's going on. So, have buttons, t-shirts. So, I like it. I think it's a good job for me.
Yeah, can you tell me more about the buttons? I know they get you free food at
Yes,
places.
we're releasing the button discounts today, actually,
Yay.
on the Instagram. So I'll do a little sneak peek on 2 that I'll be releasing in the next hour. But one is a free protein ball at T-Loft if you bring your crimson and blue button in. And then another one is a half order of fried pickles at Jefferson's.
Wow, so those are
Yes.
some pretty good deals.
Yes, and so I've got a few more to come after that. But, they're just kind of a fun way to kind of get people involved in the election and, just get people to wear the button.
Yeah, so where can students find these buttons?
Right now we're on Westco Beach all week.
Okay.
As well as if anyone DMs us on Instagram, I will be happy to run buttons on over to whoever.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit about who the other competitors are running in this race?
There's Rise KU and there are Jayhawkers.
Okay, all right, cool. So one more plan that you guys are going to implement is the transit system. Can you tell me just a little brief explanation of what that is?
Yeah, so part of when we were in transit meetings and kind of like looking at it, we noticed that a lot of students complain about how packed 43 Red is. That's kind of one of our main complaints, issues. So when we were looking at it, one of our main ideas is adding a 43 Red bus in the middle of the day. So when students are in classes, and if you look at when classes are, they're kind of there in the middle of the day, around the 9 to 11 or 11 to 1 or something. So adding that extra 43 bus, one, will help students not be packed like sardines in the bus, which is always nice, and just help people get to classes on time. And and that's the whole point, is trying to help students get to class, succeed in class, that kind of thing. So that's part of our transit plan. And then the other part is adding Wi-Fi on the buses. So yeah, so if you're running late and you need to pull out that laptop to send a quick email or put something in on Blackboard really quickly, you'd be able to do that too.
Wow, these sounds like some pretty exciting new plans. So when are the elections? When can people vote and where can they do that?
Elections are next Wednesday and Thursday, and the poll opens up at 6 a.m. I believe, and you can vote on Rock Chalk Central, and there's also a direct link from our website at crimsonblue.org.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right, well, it sounds awesome. Thank you so much for joining us.
problem.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, just go on out and vote.
Yeah, be sure to do that. Well, after the break, we'll be back with more news for you. So thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas, a great place to be you.
Welcome back. Now it's time for Malik's favorite segment, Week in Review. Headlines making it from the past week.
Alrighty, we start off with some sad news. Winnie Mandela, the former wife of Nelson Mandela, known as the mother of the nation, along with her husband, she was a strong activist in the struggle against apartheid, and as she passed away, in a statement, the family says they were shocked by the news. Winnie was 81 years old.
And a judge's ruling in California may force shops to put a cancer warning on their cups of coffee. This decision will affect Starbucks, 7-Eleven, and a list of more companies. The judge said the companies failed to meet the burden of proof.
I know, that makes you kind of sad, right? Does
A
it
little
actually
bit.
cause cancer?
I don't know. Something I'll need to look into.
Star actor and former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger had heart surgery this past week to replace an old valve. According to his rep, his first words back were, quote, "I'm back."
Huh.
That's strong.
If you haven't heard yet, well, here you go. Villanova won their second national championship in 3 years Monday, defeating Michigan, and yes, of course, that means they beat KU on Saturday. Such a sad story, but seriously, congratulations to them on an impressive run. Some good news for you Kansas fans. ESPN has KU ranked as #1 going into next year. So there's always next year. That's what KU likes to say.
It was a very disappointing Saturday night, though, I have to say.
I may have shed a few
You
tears.
cried?
Oh, of course I cried.
I didn't cry. Sports. And lastly, the independence of journalism is so important for a strong and healthy democracy. But one media corporation that owns about 40% of the local news stations in the U.S. is challenging that by force-feeding scripts that they force their anchors to read. Take a look at this compilation put together by Deadspin.
Hi, I'm Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But we are concerned about
Troubling and irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 Alrighty, welcome back. And so, as you see, one of the biggest institutions in this country, one of the biggest things that makes this country what it is the independence of the media. So the fact that these anchors were forced to read that is pretty disturbing. One station, I believe out of Philadelphia, did tweet out that they refused to read the script on air.
Yeah. All right, well, after the break, we're going to be back talking about basketball once again, the sad loss we took on Saturday. Plus, I come bearing good news, so stay tuned.
And welcome back to Wake Up Call, Kaylee.
All right, Devontae Graham and Svi Mikhailuk took their Kansas jerseys off for the last time on Saturday night. I was very sad. It was the end of the season. The end of the season did not seem to hit Devontae until he stepped off the court and into Bill Self's arms. It was hard for the players and fans to realize this was the end for Devontae and Svi. The loss did not change the fact that they were the best shooting duo in KU history. Svi set the single season record for three-pointers with 115 and Graham close behind with 110, which made this the first season for two players to make at least 100 threes in a season. The fan base will miss this duo tremendously, and people were tweeting out their goodbyes and appreciation for Devontae and Svi. So we can take a look at a few of those tweets. I know I was personally very sad about that, and people were tweeting, "Goodbye, Devontae and Svi, like, you'll be missed." Just, oh, there's one. That's a funny one, waving goodbye at Devontae Graham. And I don't know, it's just a very sad, it was sad to see Devontae walk off and cry. It made me a little emotional. I don't know about you.
Yeah, a bittersweet moment where he's been obviously a great part of this tradition here at KU. We've been honored to have him. But also, you know, they put their dues in to be a part of this tradition. And what makes KU basketball so great is the next year we'll pick it up. And just like people were freaking out when Frank Mason left, there's going to be someone who picks up his throne and carries us to the next level. So we'll be all right.
That's right. And we do actually have a short video of Malik Newman, not this Malik, basketball Malik, of how he felt after the game on Saturday. So let's take a look at that.
The way the game plays out from there.
It's tough. It's tough, especially when, you know, most of the points come from the three-point line. You know, you feel like you don't really give yourself a chance to win. You put yourself in a deep hole, and it's hard to climb out.
So the 3 points from Villanova, they really got us.
Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing, you know, honestly. you gotta go your Final Four, you're a 1 seed. You probably should put up a little bit of fight, but looks like they were, a high school basketball team out there facing Villanova. It was pretty pathetic, yeah.
I don't know about that. I know Bill Self in an interview after said they didn't play well, and Villanova was really on their game. So
Michigan, who played Villanova in the national championship, was down. They lost by a bigger margin, but they were down 9.5. It was a competitive game. But we got we got destroyed. We absolutely got tossed in that game. We were down 15.5.
Yeah. And, another special thing that happened at that game, Udoka's mom from Nigeria, she hadn't seen her son in 6 years, Kansas officials helped her get a visa, and she was able to come to the game, which was really nice, and I thought that was cute. There's a video of her just cheering at the game, so it was sad that they did lose by such a big point difference. But we made it to the Final Four.
I'm sure she was still so happy to see her son out there playing basketball for the first time in 6 years.
That's right.
Alrighty, moving along to KU softball hosted its 6th annual Orange Game on Saturday. The game benefited Jayhawks for a cure in kidney cancer. Colorado State took a 3-0 lead in the first inning. KU freshman the Jayhawks later tied the score at 5, and they finished. Did they win or did they lose?
They scored at 5-5 and went to extra innings. Colorado State scored 3 in the 12th to close out the game and take the series 2-1.
That's sad. The next game is set for tonight at Wichita State at 6 p.m.
That's right. And enough for sports. Channing Tatum and Jenna Dewan Tatum announced their shocking split on Monday night, leaving fans devastated and hopeless for their own love lives. They've been married almost 9 years and have one daughter together. They announced a split on social media that said, "We fell deeply in love so many years ago and have had a magical journey together. Absolutely nothing has changed about how much we love one another, but love is a beautiful adventure that is taking us on different paths for now. There's no secrets, no malicious events. At our root of our decision, just two best friends realizing it's time to take space and help each other live the most joyous lives possible."
I don't know how good of a couple they were, but I do know
they were pretty good.
That I saw the lip singing battle of them on it, and it was pretty funny. Did you see that?
I didn't.
Oh, come on. With Chrissy Teigen and LHQJ? You've never seen the lip sync battle?
Maybe I have. When was that?
Oh my God. Oh my God. My director's yelling at my ear at Keegley because that is one of the greatest ones ever. But hey, we'll move along right here on Wake Up Call. Thursday night, Scott Foster, an accountant in Chicago and beer league goalie on the side, was asked to back up the Blackhawks in case the third string goalie was injured, and sure enough, the goalie got injured. Foster stepped in and helped one of the top scoring teams in the league to 0 goals in 14 minutes of scoreless hockey. The sold-out crowd at the United Center chanted his name, and he got celebrated. Congratulations to him.
Yeah, obviously I love the Chicago Blackhawks because from Chicago, but some good news if I've heard anything. Just a daily accountant guy that just likes to play beer league hockey on the weekends. Got to be on the play in the United Center with the whole stadium chanting his name every save he got. That's pretty impressive. Something I would like to do.
Yeah, that is very, very, very impressive. Anything coming up this weekend for you?
This weekend, no, nothing too exciting. What about you?
Oh yeah, my mom and my aunt are coming up for Mom's Weekend, so I'm pretty excited about that.
I'm excited. Malik's mom is a riot. She's a fun gal.
So they'll be up here to watch my show that I anchor on Fridays, and then we'll participate in some activities. For Keely McCormick, I'm Malik Jackson. For you guys in the KU community, make sure you get out and vote next Wednesday and Thursday. Make your voice heard. That's all for us on Wake Up Call. We'll see you right back here next Wednesday at 9 a.m.